So after surviving 2020 and currently surviving 2021, a lot of people are wondering, hey, how am I not dead? And the first game of this week is Just Die Already, which is like an elderly Sims game where you can go around and it's like GTA elderly. So apparently it's got really interesting cartoon graphics. I don't see this game having being able to actually actually existed if it didn't have these cartoon graphics. You can choose from 4 different elderly people to play this game, but they're all trying to get out of the retirement home. But the models, they don't play really any differently. They just have different sounds and they look different. So it's like the team of Goat Simulator wanted to make their own GTA game, and you have to mostly preserve your health because all 4 characters are like kind of like glass. They get hurt super easily. You lose limbs when you're trying to move like heavy objects, or even trying to like open the fridge door. And like the ragdoll physics are fun for a while, but the world doesn't really feel alive. Like that's the biggest issue with this game. It feels like it's a world that's trying to imitate the real world, but it doesn't feel alive at all. Like, it provides a number of goals that once you finally get out of the retirement home, I have to admit I was stuck in the retirement home in this game for like half an hour, just trying to figure out like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it says I need a sharp object to knock down the wooden panels, and so I kept trying to use the glass bottles, and in the end I found, like, in the separate room, once you find the golden key, you can open the gate and find a pickaxe. But I mean, I was kind of stuck doing that. And so once you actually do get out of the retirement home, you find a way to get kicked out. I won't say how. There's a bucket list that you find from someone else, and it gives you sort of like an idea of what you can do, like some sort of objectives for this game. But yeah, the purpose of the game just seems to be to cause chaos. Like, it's kind of like GTA in that sense, where you're either like harming other residents or random citizens in this game, and sort of testing limitations of the sandbox and what the game lets you do. And so it feels like this plot is sort of like a game world where no one's having children anymore, so therefore there's no one to take care of the people that are stuck in the retirement home. So you try and get out of this crappy retirement home that you're in to earn tickets by doing all these challenges in order to get a better, more permanent retirement home that takes good care of you. So it's got like an interesting setup in that sense. Apparently some cars are drivable. I never experienced that. I just found that they drove around recklessly, and yeah, I couldn't get inside of them. But the game starts off really promising, but like pretty much the character is so fragile that it doesn't matter which of the 4 characters you choose, but that it gets really annoying and to compete the challenges in the game, and it feels like a chore rather than you know, some fun tasks to do. And this is despite like a really friendly respawn system, which lets you respawn whenever you want. So even if you lose a limb in the game, which happens so easily, yeah, the game will let you respawn. And just, it's a shame because the game quickly gets boring. Like, it's got a cool setup, it's got an interesting backstory, but just it gets very boring. Even though there's like, it had so much potential, so much interesting concepts, and it just feels like overall like just the presentation, the gameplay, it feels mediocre. And you know, if it had more voiceovers, or like, what this game is mostly lacking is it's lacking livelihood. If it had like more zest to it, then yeah, you would find it entertaining as like the other games that sort of the other sandbox games that are out there. But it's missing that. Even though it's got like impressive number of like interactive objects that you can use, like a whoopee cushion, glass bottles. I mean, you can even pick up other citizens which is interesting, but like it just does not keep this game from being boring very quickly. So apparently you can play it with like 3 or 4 other people. I played it solo, but even then I've heard like it gets boring fast because everyone just goofs around. And co-op as well. It's $17, so it's kind of high for a game that like you would probably find very boring in like 5 minutes to like an hour or two tops. But yeah, if it sort of gives you an impression that it's going to be like a silly GTA game, and instead it's like everything's too fragile in this game, just like the characters in it, and it feels like a $5 game, unfortunately. Like you sort of, in my time, like I felt like I was forcing myself to play it. Like, okay, this game's got to get better. It's got to get better, and it's like it doesn't really. Once you get out, it's kind of funny because you can jump on like the inflatable crocodiles, and like you go like feels like 100 feet in the air. But other than that, like that's not going to keep you entertained for long. But yeah, the more I played it, I played for over an hour, and the more I played it, I was like, I just want to force quit this game and never play again. So it's one of those games that looks like fun, but when you finally play it, it's just not that much fun once you do play it. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. I know it's really low, but like just playing it is not the same as hearing about it. Like in theory it's a great game, but when you play it. So definitely, if you can get it for $5, you know, check it out. But anything higher, and you probably agree, like you're just getting robbed for your money, and you know, it makes you want to feel like you want to die already because the game's just not fun. So keep on gaming. Bye.